Truth or dare?
I don't know. Truth?
How was the movie?
This movie sucked. Come on. What else were you expecting? Welcome back to Bandwagon fans. I'm Jeff, and tonight I'm going to be doing the non-spoiler review for Blumhouse Productions' Truth or Dare. And before I get into the movie, I just want to thank all the returning and new subscribers. I'm still a pretty small channel. This is a pretty small show. I still get the email alert every time I get a new subscriber, and it's a pretty cool feeling. Every time I see that little, hey, you've got a new subscriber, I do my little dance, get a little happy. So I just want to thank you all for hitting that subscribe button and inviting everybody else. Go ahead and subscribe. Keep up to date with all the upcoming reviews. And you can also follow me at TheBWFans on Twitter. So, Truth or Dare. This is starring Lucy Hale, Tyler Posey, and Violet Bean as three college students, Olivia, Lucas, and Marky, go down to Mexico with some other friends for their final spring break of college, get into a game of Truth or Dare, and it turns out that this game has some deadly consequences. So enjoy some highlights from the trailer.
Are you aware that Olivia is in love with your boyfriend?
No, she's not.
Will you stop?
Penelope.
Dare.
Make out with Olivia.
Let's get this party started.
Tight.
Carter.
Truth.
What are your intentions with our sweet Olivia?
I needed to find someone with friends that I could trick into coming here. I brought you all up here because I'm okay with strangers dying if it means I get to live.
Truth or dare?
Dare.
I know it sounds insane.
Just a little.
This fine young lady here dared me to show you my business.
Seen it before, not impressed. Carter said, tell the truth or you die. Do the dare or you die.
Refuse to play,
You know what? Screw this.
and you die.
All right, so we're talking Blumhouse Productions' Truth or Dare. Now, normally I don't get too involved in worrying about the studio, but when you're talking about Blumhouse, they are definitely part of the story for any movie that they make. So Blumhouse Studios is known for small budget horror films, and they've released some of the best movies of the last few years, including the Insidious movies, Get Out, Split. Some of my favorite movies of the last 5 years, like Hush, Creep, Oculus, the Purge movies that I love, Sinister. All these low budget movies that way exceed your expectations. But with working with these low budgets, when they release a stinker, it is bad. And we're talking movies like Ouija, the first Ouija, some of the later Paranormal Activity movies like Ghost Dimension, Gem and the Holograms, and Truth or Dare really falls into that latter category. But I'm all on board with Blumhouse Productions. I love what they're doing. I love their concept. But every once in a while, they're releasing, 10 movies a year. There's going to be some crap in there. So Truth or Dare is one of those. This movie just did not work. So the concept, you've seen the trailers. These group of kids go down to Mexico. One of them meets kind of creepy guy. Could be a good guy, could be creepy. Well, he's creepy. No spoiler there. Takes them to this, what turns out to be this abandoned, wrecked mission, and they play a game of Truth or Dare. Turns out that the game itself is somehow possessed and follows them back to their college, where they keep having to go and turn and either play the game. So either do a truth or stay a truth, do a dare, and if they refuse or if they lie or if they don't do the dare, then they die. And that's the basic that's the setup for the movie. So it's actually kind of an interesting setup. It could be something that could have been a lot of fun, but all right, so we'll get into the things that did work. By the time you get to kind of the end of the second act, going into the third act, it explains the nature of the haunting or why this is happening. And that explanation actually kind of worked. It's a cliched trope, but for this movie, it sufficiently explained what was going on. I kind of wish it had been earlier in the movie, but the explanation at least was within the realm of a horror movie plausible. There's one character played by Hayden Zito. Hope I pronounce his name right. And his character has a particular arc that I'm seeing a lot in 2018. But his character had an arc that actually had kind of a nice little emotional payoff, and it had one of the most genuine moments in this entire movie. So that I won't get into spoilers, but his arc was pretty well done and paid off in a satisfactory manner. And overall, all the actors, they tried. They did the best they could with miniature hat. Nobody was phoning it in. You can see potential for almost all of these actors in the future. Sophia Ali was another supporting actor, and then Landon, let's see if I get his name right, Landon LeBoyne played Carter, who lured all these kids into the Truth or Dare game. As far as the things that didn't work, it's in the trailer over time. I kind of parodied it in the beginning with that stupid little the Truth or Dare grin, where really trying for style over substance, and it wasn't scary, it was comical, and that really sets up why this movie overall didn't work. It wasn't campy enough to just be fun, but it was too funny to be really scary. Especially after seeing A Quiet Place last week, there's no excuse for movies there's no excuse for a horror movie to have zero tension. And this movie had none of it. It's definitely aimed for teenagers, young adults. But in the theater I was in, there was a group of late teenage girls right behind me, and they were having none of it. They were laughing throughout the whole movie, but not in a good way. Not often enough to justify how ridiculous some of the scenes were. And then when the movie ended, they were just like, "Oh, come on." And the way the movie ended, no spoilers here, but it ripped off a much better horror movie for the way it concluded. And now, anytime I go back and watch that better horror movie, I'm going to be reminded of this steaming pile of poo. So bad on you, movie. If you're going to steal from a better movie, at least try to not suck. But overall, I would give this maybe 2 out of 5 stars. It wasn't unwatchable, but it's definitely not a go to the theater and see it. I'm sure this will be out on Netflix. Catch it then. And Blumhouse Productions, keep looking for that name. Look for movies from Blumhouse. I'm not sure if it's Blumhouse or Blumhouse, but keep watching for their movies, because the concept behind the studio is really strong, and they put out some amazing movies. This just didn't happen to be one of them, but keep looking out for them. Support that studio, because they might be the future of movie theaters. Low budget, but high reward most of the time for their movies. And they got a lot of interesting stuff coming out. Spike Lee has a movie coming out from Blumhouse. The M. Night Shyamalan has another movie. So Split, the sequel to Unbreakable and Split. That sequel is going to be Glass. That's coming out. So just keep looking out for Blumhouse. Support their movies. But understand, every once in a while you're going to get a turd. Truth or Dare, definitely one of those turds. So anyways, I'm Jeff. Thanks for watching. As always, like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the upcoming reviews, and get on the bandwagon.